Hello, welcome. I'm going to just give a few seconds to see if anyone is going to be jumping on the chat. Before I begin, because I did not expect hello to be going live, but I'm excited that I am. Happy Halloween for all of you out there. I was called to do a reading. Very big messages, big energies that I've been feeling, and I do want to share. I'm going to do a collective reading for us all. Using the Oracle cards, I've been starting off the Zodiac readings with the wisdom of the House of the Night. House of Night. But one of the biggest energies that I have been, hello, can you guys hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up. One of the biggest energies that I have been experiencing and witnessing and feeling, sensing, has to do with still some of the big planets in retrograde, specifically Saturn, who will be going direct on November 4th. However, we're still in this, I guess we're always going to be in this mirroring review type energy, but it's been really intense. And one of the biggest energies, I keep seeing the Temperance card. And we'll see if it comes out in the reading. The Temperance card, for me personally, balancing the two polarities, the two strongest polarities within. Each of us have our own unique, very strong, dualistic personality traits that have been designed from childhood. For me personally, it has been the energy, I'm doing like the scales here, the energy of control, needing to be in control of everything in my life. This is something for me personally has been created from childhood, from being in a childhood where things seemed very out of control all of the time, and I didn't fully trust my parents, my caregivers. Being psychic and energetically sensitive, which many of us are, we're like, we can read between the lines even as little children. So that need to like be in control, especially as we get older, we want to control not only the energy, but we want to control everything that happens in our life, and we just don't have that. It's been shown to me that the more I try to control things or make things go a certain way, the harder it is, the more obstacles and challenges I face. So the opposite polarity of that control would be to be kind of just sort of lax, like, okay, and this is part of the awakening process as well. All right, universe, I trust, like, I'm going to believe, and you're going to just bring to me what it is that I need. And there's got to be sort of an in-between, a balance, the Temperance card of the doing and the being. It's meeting in the middle in the 0 point energy, where we trust the universe, we trust the cycles, we trust our guidance, our internal guidance, yet at the same time, we're open to receiving messages, our intuition, our desires, our dreams, our hopes, what it is that we are desiring to create at any given moment in our life. We must take the first step towards that, yet not try to control everything to make that happen all in one fell swoop. When we take that first step, then the universe opens up and it's like, okay, here's a whole nother platform of options and choices for you. And you use your intuition and your discernment again to choose the best next step. And that's sort of balancing the masculine, feminine energy. The need to control needs to kind of wither away, and also the need to just sort of like sit back and expect that things are just going to work out for you. That's also a fool's game. So there's a nice balance in between there, and that has been a big message that I've been receiving lately. So I don't know, it definitely resonates for my path and my experience, and maybe for some of you as well. But let's get into it. Because there's just been this energy of like messages, there's messages to come through. It is Halloween here where I live, and the energy is very, ooh, it's interesting, that's for sure. But I am definitely tapped in with my spiritual guides and the angelic realms. So let's see what messages want to come through for all of us at this time. I was literally just about to do some more zodiac readings, and the guides were like, no, there's a big collective message here. Let's do that. Let's do that now. Okay. So what is the message for us all collectively at this time? And definitely through this past full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus, which was beautiful. I actually used one of my photos as the thumbnail here. It definitely has illuminated more in depth to me. There's the duality right there. Okay. Wow. Okay. So the first card out, we have confidence. And I think the more that we are on this journey, and the more that we are not falling back asleep into mundane old ways, not falling back into old ways, which we will at times fall back into old ways. And that sort of wakes us back up, like, I'm in a pattern again, I'm in a habit again, and it's just an awareness. It's a deep awareness. The more we do that, it's like practice. It's like you can't just go out there and play tennis. You got to go out there and hit the ball and practice. So we've been practicing awareness. We've been practicing presence, which really is the only powerful energy, is to be very present with life. Now we will have certain energies or certain experiences, especially when we're triggered, especially when we, with this moon cycle, it definitely, and the retrograde energies, is bringing us into feelings, emotions, and experiences that we've had before. And it goes all the way back to some very deep core wounds of our, that started in childhood. And hi Patsy, hi Jessa. So when we're faced with these emotions, these energies, these experiences, we are re-experiencing again. There's a choice there. Are we going to fall victim to the same old story in the mind? Excuse me. Or are we going to allow that feeling, that energy, to take us back even further? Because if you sit with it and not allow the story, the current story of whatever it is that you are repeating or revisiting, if you allow that feeling, that sensation to take you back, when was the first time I felt this way? When was the first time? Your memory banks, your cellular memory is going to bring it back up into your conscious awareness for, first of all, recognition and realization. Hello, hey Chicky, Silver Wolf Tarot, hi. We're going to bring it to a deeper awareness of what we are working through, what the energy is helping us clear away the story, clear away the narrative. Because once we realize that we can move beyond this, we can move beyond being a victim, we can move beyond being abandoned, we can move beyond being abused, we can move beyond being neglected, not seen, not heard. We're building confidence here. Now, what comes up also in this energy is obedience. And what this is showing me is, you see, she has a blindfold on. This person wants balance, wants clarity, but their way of doing it is to willfully blind themselves to the truth, because we all want to be accepted. We all want harmony, balance. We want to be liked. We want to be accepted. We don't want to be ostracized and judged. Some of the old patterns are to, and sometimes we do actually have to blind ourselves. When you want to spend time at times, we're coming into the holidays as well, with family, and you know that they're not really going to see or understand where you are as you are. So sometimes we have to tone ourselves down and sort of put the blinders on just to spend time with these loved ones. But in our hearts, we know the difference. But this is the difference between people pleasing, putting on an act, putting on a performance so that you will be accepted and liked and loved by others, or just willfully. This could be similar to the Temperance card as well, I'm getting now, but this is obedience. I'm going to be what you want me to be. I'm going to put this blindfold on. I can see clearly, and I do want balance. The next card out is loyalty, and this is a message for us all to really get into, to check in. Where do your loyalties lie? What are you loyal to? It should be you. Our loyalty should be to ourselves, to our truth, to our authenticity, to our heart, first and foremost. Because when we continue to play these patterns, we're not getting anywhere. We're actually feeding an old energy that is not serving us. It is not serving others either. It is something that we've been taught. We've been taught to temper ourselves for others to keep peace and harmony, where we can actually create peace and harmony just by being our authentic self, by loving ourselves. And I will say, at the bottom of the deck, we have beauty. Below that is strength. When I got home today, instantly, where I live, it's getting colder out, so I cut some flowers and brought them in because they're starting to wilt, and I wanted to preserve the flowers. So I brought some flowers in, and as I'm putting them in a vase, I'm hearing the song from Whitney Houston, The Greatest Love of All. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. And those words were continuously going on and on and on around me as I'm putting flowers in this vase. And these were the messages that were coming in. This is a process of stripping away old patterns, old wounds, old versions of ourselves, learning. We are learning to love ourselves. That is the greatest love of all. All right, let's dive into this more, a little deeper here. So yes, we've probably had to face certain experiences, or that's coming up for many, but I feel like many of us have either physically been facing others, facing old wounds. Could be through family members, children, friends, somebody that really like broke your heart, hurt your feelings in some way, shape, or form. But instead of allowing that to break your confidence this time, where in the past it may have, excuse me, energetically felt off, where we do put the blinder on, we are like, I gotta do this. I've got to put, I've got to show up for family or for people. Yet there's an underlying fear and pressure. It's energetically, you feel it. It's like, I don't want to do this, but I know I have to do this kind of thing. This time around, Spirit is saying to check your loyalty. Your loyalty must lie within you. It doesn't even matter what you say or do. It is the energy you give yourself. Learning to love ourselves. That love, that self-love projects outward. It does transmute the energy. If it doesn't do it right when you're doing it, because there's a lot of underlying anxiety, a lot of underlying fear of repeating something that was very painful. It's like walking on eggshells, sort of, or putting on a brave face, because we see strength below that. Hey, how you doing? Kind of thing. And inside you're like, oh God, I hope that everything's going to be okay. Each time we're faced with these things, we're building more awareness of ourselves. And it may be bringing up older childhood wounds, which is the purpose. This is the real true reason why we are repeating these experiences with others, because it goes deeper. It's bringing it to the surface. So if you're able to actually take the current situation and people out of the equation, they're out of the equation, and almost thank them for being the cosmic mirror, for showing me. Thank you for, internally. You don't have to say it outwardly, because they'll be like, what are you talking about? But internally, thank you for showing me. You're showing me something deeper inside that I want to heal. I want to change that story. I am good enough. I am confident in myself, in protecting my energy. Protection is not the best word, but knowing that, like, energetically, we are in an energetic game, pretty much. So when we are faced with certain circumstances or people or situations, and our energy is fragmented, we've got fear and anxiety and anger. We've got cover emotions. Anger is a cover emotion for a deeper pain. And we're not fully aware of all these different energies that are going on inside of us. And we're just putting on a brave face like, hi, I'm doing great. How are you doing? But we're like feeling all these things. Allow yourself to sit with that after the fact and be like, okay, whew, that was a lot. What did this bring up for me? Yes, I am. Has taken me a long time to realize. Yeah. So it becomes easier and easier and easier each time we are faced with these. Even if it's not the same person, it's the same feeling. It's the same type of energy that the universe will bring to us over and over and over again. Through this retrograde, it feels like it's just been like we've been like a ping pong, like back and forth, but it is building confidence and awareness in ourselves. Also, we get to see a little bit more of our coping mechanisms that we might want to start to let go of, because the more confident we are, the less we have to put on a song and dance for others, a show, a performance for others. Hi, Martin. So let's see what else comes through. Prince of Cups. There's Scorpio energy right there. Okay. I'm going to stop right here for a minute. Okay, back to the confidence. And the more we're aware of the underlying emotions within ourselves that are driving us in each and every experience, each and every moment, you're able to see through what you couldn't see through before, which is also building confidence. So much stronger than I was last year. Exactly. Think back a year ago, and it's because these are repeating from actually 2 years. We've been repeating for 2 years the same energy, the same experiences. What's happening on the eve of Hallows? Well, we are going through that right now. Not broken. No. We're actually able to very much see clearer than we had in the past of what is actually going on, and the intensity of the energy that builds up inside when we're faced with these repeating emotional energetic exchanges with others is tempered for many of us, and because our confidence is on the rise, because we're more self-aware. As far as the obedience card goes, we are going to have to pick and choose. You know, everybody's experience is different. Many of us are going to want to and feel a strong pull to still engage with those that we know are not ever going to understand us or get us or accept us. Acceptance, that's a different word, actually. Let me take that back. Once you're confident in who you are, you don't have to put on the blinders, the blindfold. Willful blindness is what I'm saying here. You can see clearly through the veil. We don't have to react or even respond to it. It is a matter of having compassion. That compassion is going to bring more balance within. So as I was saying in the very beginning, the universe it's also finding that healthy balance between needing to control ourselves and others and situations, and being too lax and just like whatever, whatever happens. It's meeting those two aspects of self in the middle, so that we're confident, we're aware, we see. Yet we also know that there are universal forces working with us at the same time. And whatever it is that we want to change or create for ourselves, as long as we take the first step in that direction, the universe will place right in front of us, and be very present, be aware, right in front of us will place to us the next batch of choices and options to choose from. It's always a choice. We're always given choices. Okay. Whew. I know I've been taken through memory lane quite a lot in the last few days. but not in a way that felt even uncomfortable at this time. And I would say maybe last year some of it would have maybe felt a little uncomfortable, but I don't have the same narrative. I don't have the same story in my mind because I'm very, very aware of the lesson that I'm meant to be learning through these experiences. Okay. So when we place our loyalty on ourselves, on our growth, when we place our loyalty on unconditional love and compassion, not just for others, but for ourselves as well, when we understand that we are meant to be awakening in every now moment, in every opportunity that is placed upon us, we are given to rid ourselves of old pain, of being the victim of anything, and I'm talking some deep stuff: abuse, neglect, abandonment, betrayal. When we place our loyalty back on ourself, our healing, and from that point, project that heart-centered energy out. And you don't even have to. That's part of the growth. When we give it to ourselves, we're also giving it to others. Just putting that out there energetically as well. This is not what we've been taught when we're little, like that's selfish and that's narcissistic. No, the self-love first and foremost, because you cannot love outwardly if you do not have complete and utter loyalty to yourself and to your heart. But through the stages, through each and every stage, we begin to see, when we see clearly other people's pain, and that they may just be projecting that out onto us, as well as it being the universe's way of saying, hey, is this bothering you? Is this upsetting you? Take a good look inside. You've still got this energy going on inside of you. It comes from somewhere deeper. So understanding the mirrors, understanding the reflection and the projection, because that is an always type of thing that we are always operating under energetically. But back to loyalty of the self. Once we are like completely and utterly loyal to ourselves and our journey and our healing, and really clearing away anything that does not serve us, that does not help us feel confident, help us see the true beauty within ourselves, complete and utter beauty, inward and outward. And there's no such thing as perfection either. That was another big topic that came up for me this morning. Not for me personally, but it was shown to me that, you might still have a little bit of this to work through. And I'm happy to do so. It doesn't affect me like it used to. Like, oh God, I just can't seem to get it right. No, that's good. We're not going to get it just right all the time. There is no such thing as perfection. Back to the loyalty. We have Princess of Swords with the Magician. When we are focused on ourselves, when we are giving our complete and utter loyalty to ourselves first and foremost, we see much clearer. We have clarity of not, because we have a clearer understanding of ourselves, we have a clearer understanding of others, and of what, from a universal perspective, is trying to really teach us and help us work through. Because it's all a creation of our own and universe, the magician. We are creator beings. We create and I want to try to get away from the just manifestation. We create our reality, our experiences, and it goes by, number one, the narrative that's going on in the mind, which understand that there are old thought forms, there are old beliefs, there are so many things that are going on in there, and our blind spots that we're not even aware. If you are feeling like you are a victim, or you're not good enough, or no one cares, or and whatever story is going on there, good. Check that. Sit with yourself and go deeper. Why is this story here? Forget about what is being shown to you outside of yourself right now. Go deep. Go to the inner child. There is an aspect of you somewhere, all of us, inner child, that is still like locked away somewhere, just screaming to be heard, screaming to be seen. Hey, I've been in here all these years. See me. I've been abused. I've been neglected. I've been abandoned. And you've been recreating this over and over and over again. Little did you know, it's not your fault either, but let's stop this. Let's stop this. Bring me back on board. It could go either way. It depends on, like, some people have gone through extreme abuse, and you may really need to have help in really retrieving these lost aspects of self, soul retrieval, these inner child wounds. There's a great process that Teal Swan created called the completion process, and they're actually working on making it, like, there are practitioners out there now that are walking people through finding all of your parts to bring you back to completion. Yeah, let me out. Exactly. Overall, we have 10 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords below that. What is it that we are creating when we are so lost within whatever's going on outside of us? We're lost in our minds. We're not seeing the true beauty of what we could be creating for ourselves, our legacy. This also can be linked to finances. You know, if you grew up and your parents were always like penny pinching and worried about money, there's a story, there's a narrative going on there, and you've got that in you. We all have that, these aspects in us that are like, shit, money doesn't grow on trees. What am I going to do? And that's true to some respect. But if you have confidence that you've got passion for something, and there's going to be someone out there that needs, wants, desires what you innately, naturally are born to give, you can create that for yourself. But we've had so many obstacles, so many challenges to really overcome in this lifetime. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So where are we at? 33 minutes. I think I started at 3:33 here where I am too. So interesting. Let's get one last message for us all from Moonology. How are you guys doing? I love this energy. Of course, you know, we're really close to my birthday, so this is sort of my jam, like going deep and going into the dark places that some people are like, oh, it's creepy, it's scary. I'm like, no, it's not. It's a mystery that we can solve. There's nothing to be afraid of the dark. Just turn on the light. A loving environment we can grow and evolve in. Yeah, and we definitely can create that. There's no doubt in my mind. The only thing that holds us back, and trust me, I really feel, I've been really pulled off of astrology for a bit, but one of the big messages that I have been getting lately was to keep an eye on Saturn. Saturn goes direct this coming Saturday, the 4th. So there's going to be a big shift in that which has felt like restriction. That which has felt like, Saturn can be like the authoritative father figure. It's also time. It is also what we hold inside of us that restricts ourselves. Happy Halloween, Granny Paula. So I feel that as Saturn begins to move, we are going to see, and Saturn being in Pisces, it is an interesting mix because Pisces is the two fish, one swimming one way and one swimming the other way. Pisces is like, you cannot restrict me. I'm going to swim around you in circles kind of thing. So it is kind of contradicting energy, but it's also very interesting. I don't know how many of you have had experiences in the last, I don't know, how long has Saturn been in Pisces? But it's just, let's just say this past year of like contradiction that's come through other people. They'll say one thing and do another, or they'll say one thing and then say the complete opposite. And there's this contradiction energy that's been going on over and over and over and over again. I know, whenever I say Saturn, we're all like, ugh. We gotta love Saturn, because if we did not have that energy, we wouldn't have boundaries. We wouldn't have, we have to have some kind of regulation. And, we can't just be completely and utterly, what's the word? We can't be just like going crazy and not having any type of rules or boundaries. We are in this time-space continuum here on Earth School. And school, there are rules, there are boundaries, there are things that we have to follow. And that is what Saturn really represents for us. But it's not those rules and regulations and boundaries that we were taught. It's not man-made. This is universal. So it's an interesting, it's unlearning what we've been taught and relearning what we already know naturally, internally. Many of us empaths, energetically sensitive, have had to learn and are still learning boundaries the hard way. The real hard way, because we were taught one way, but we energetically sometimes don't know where our energy ends and somebody else's begins. What are Saturn's boundaries? Oh, well, that's we could go into that, but I'm not going to stay on here for that long. Saturn's boundaries, I'm talking about our own healthy, energetic boundaries. As an Aquarius, it's an old ruler. But we've had to learn healthy boundaries the hard way. And we're still learning. We really are. Because we, as empaths, as energetically sensitive, we also feel compassion. We feel other people's energy. And we can be tricked as well. It's a fine line. It's really hard. But again, it requires us to be confident in ourselves and check, where do your loyalties lie? Because if you're going to continue to have willful blindness in an attempt to have peace and harmony with your interactions with other people, and you're going to willfully be blind to the truth that is really showing itself to us now, the veil is very thin, you're going to have some cold, hard lessons. And that's not fun. We've all gone through that, You can influence me, but not rule me. So it's really important that we have confidence, self-esteem, confidence in ourselves, confidence in our ability to sense and feel the truth. Scorpio energy, intuition. Also, the ability to see and sense our own duality within. That's a big thing that's been shown to us, to see it within ourselves. That the scales, for those of you who weren't here at the beginning, that was one of my biggest messages that kept coming through to me, was the Temperance card. I wonder where that is. No. So it is either, for me personally, it was showing me, I've been taught, I've been shown through, I did not put on, oh, hold on. There we go. You guys there? Sorry, my phone rang. It's, I hope that didn't break. You guys still hear me? The scales of justice, the scales, the balance within temperance. Okay, good. Here is, for me, was showing me the duality. And if we tip too far one way or the other, if we tip too far in our need to control life, control ourselves, control things, we're going to fall. If we tip too much the other way and we become just lackadaisy and okay, whatever is, we're going to fall the other way. It's finding that nice balance in the middle where we are trusting our intuition. We're feeling and sensing our way through. We're being very present with life. And we're no longer going to put the blinders on. We're going to see clearly. And we're going to pick and choose our battles, obviously. But we're going to pick and choose whether we're going to react or respond, or if we're just going to take our next step in a different direction. And when we take that next step, the universe places in front of us, here you go, here's the platform to step on. Thank you for taking that step. Now here are a whole other bunch of choices that you get to choose from. Your choice. That is free will. That is part of the game of life, is always, we always have a choice. So being aware of that as well is important. But the choice, really, as long as we're being loyal to our heart, loyal to ourselves, we're going to see clearly what the next choice is for ourselves. We're not making choices for other people any longer. We're not putting on that song and dance and performing for other people. We are making choices for ourselves to create harmony for all, but for definitely for ourselves. Because if we don't create harmony for ourselves, we are not going to be experiencing harmony outside of ourselves. I don't care how much you try to control a situation, or you can't. You just can't. You can't control people. You can't. It just doesn't work that way. And maybe in the past it did. That's the thing about life. Sometimes we learn these patterns at a young age, and they did work for us back in the day. In this energy, nope. And it didn't really work that well anyway back then. We were just fooling ourselves. But that's kind of, you could call it manipulation, energetic manipulation. And every human being on this planet has dabbled in that for sure, you know. We don't even think that we're doing anything wrong. It's not right or wrong, but we're not doing ourselves any justice. We're not being loyal to our authenticity and our energy when we are playing those games. And others play those games too. So you think like if others are playing this game, then it's fine for me to play that game too. But we just perpetuate that energy over and over again. So last message for us all. What else do we have? Very expect powerful change. There's that eclipse right there. Expect powerful change. Anything else? Take time to breathe out. And here's the thing with expectations. They can do one of two things. If we hold too tightly onto expectations, like controlling or needing things to be a certain particular way, we can be in for a rude awakening and disappointment. But the only thing in life that's constant is change. However, okay, thank you. Or not, however, communication is key. Have faith in your dreams. Okay. So the only thing in life that's constant is change. Expect some powerful change, though. And some of us may already know exactly what that powerful change, or at least we can have hope. That hope should really be in alignment with peace, harmony, unconditional love, and compassion for all. But even if we're just working on ourselves and our own loyalties, that's good enough, because as I was saying, when we're giving ourselves love and compassion, that energy is a ripple effect. Other people are receiving that as well. And I experienced this way back in the day when I started to understand my energetic influence on others. And because I was a perfectionist and a control freak back in the day, years ago, until the universe was just like tower, like just crumbled everything down in front of me. So I had no choice but to learn about energy, I'm like, you couldn't make up the things that were happening to me. It was crazy. And I'm sure many of you have similar stories. It seemed crazy until it's like, okay, I gotta understand laws of the universe and quantum physics. I gotta understand why my energy it's a cause and effect, is having these reactive things all of a sudden, explosive things all of a sudden. Where was I going with that? I lost what it was coming through. When I put the focus and attention on my own healing, when I realized that I was not loving myself, I wasn't putting myself first, second, third, or fourth. I was at the back of the line. And that was conditioned in me, being the oldest of my family and always it was just something I just innately did, was take care of everybody else but myself. And I'm sure many of you can relate to that too. Last year was too much for my nervous system. And that's also what happens too. It really takes a toll on the nervous system when things just suddenly all come apart, and it's just too much. It really is. It takes a toll on the body too. But I witnessed firsthand, and it did not take very long at all, when I put all of my energy, my focus, and my attention on loving myself and healing myself and understanding my energy and being completely not in ego or anything. I witnessed so much change and beautiful changes in my family members, in the life outside of me. It was truly that saying, change the way you see the world, and the world around you changes. Yeah, that kind of things. Yeah, good. Always put yourself first. And I think that we've all learned that difficult lesson, or some are still learning that very difficult lesson. And we human beings, we got to learn these hard lessons the hard way. It is through suffering and pain that actually we can be grateful for those aspects of life. That is what propels us out of living with blinders on, blindfolded, and being obedient to every other human being on the planet except ourselves. Take time to breathe out. I'm definitely getting from this energy, it is important when we're getting waves of emotion, waves of energy, and there's a lot of different frequencies that we are swimming through, and we're also experiencing collective energy. It is important to really ground ourselves and be as present as possible. Really focus on the breath. The breath is the one thing that will keep you very present. That is that is our very life in itself. So when we are in a stream of very fast moving energy, think of it like a rushing river, a current of energy. We can either be swept away by the current, we can fight against the current and be exhausted, or we can stand vertically, breathe, and let it all flow around us. You're going to understand this when you take that time. We don't always have to be in the midst of it all. Take time. It's important to take time to breathe out, to meditate, to connect to your heart, connect to your spirit, connect to nature, connect to the stars, the sun, all of that. Have faith in your dreams. So again, when I see expect powerful change, I know a lot of us, it's been a long, hard ride, roller coaster ride. We're all crazy. We all signed up for this, by the way. Every single one of us. We are like, yeah, let's do it. And then we get down here, we're like, what the hell's going on? We become very jaded on the journey of life, because in the midst of the high highs and the low lows, when we're in those high highs and we start to see little sparkles of manifestation here and there, and we get really excited, like, this is really happening. Oh my gosh, I'm creating my own reality. And then we get down into a low and it doesn't fully manifest or happen. We lose that faith. We're just like, man, I don't know what's wrong with myself. This is, things just are not the way I thought it was. I don't know what I'm doing. I quit. I give up, right? But if we don't have faith in our dreams, if we don't have faith in what it is that we truly desire to experience and create, we are creator beings here, we can get really lost in that depression and that, giving up. Don't give up. Have faith in your dreams. This is a highly potent time. And I'm not promising that, like, boom, everything's going to just like magically change. But honestly, I've had those experiences where sometimes they just do. And then when we do have those moments, you think that, everything can be this way. And it's just not that way. But again, each and every one of us has our own unique journey. Now, for those of you who have been, I say those of you, we all have been, facing our fears, having certain energies come back up, either where we have to engage again in something that had challenged us emotionally, energetically, maybe even physically in the past, and we've been repeating this specific event. Really, we've been repeating it our whole life, but it feels like for the last year or two, we've been repeating it with a specific person or a specific situation. And it has been really, we've been gaining strength and confidence in ourselves, because the more we do this, the more we put ourselves out there, the more we face our fears, the more we become confident in ourselves, confident in knowing that not everything is as it seems. And as long as I'm not in my head too much, this narrative of being a victim, or someone's going to be mean to me, or someone, all that energy, it's kind of tempered down. But for those of you who still get really, like, the nervous system really kicks in high, know that as long as you're taking good care of yourself, your energy, you're being loyal to yourself, nothing is going to come of the situation. Nothing is really going to manifest outside the way, the worst case scenario, the way the mind tells you. It's really, it's a mirror. We're really going through these hardcore mirrors right now that are bringing to the surface, bringing to consciousness, the light of consciousness, awareness of deeper inner child wounds, really deep. And you can really kind of take time to breathe out and sit with that. I think that many of us have. We have a time to give, rather than take. And this is speaking energetically. So when we are being loyal to ourselves, when we are in our heart, it is not a matter of performance. It is not a matter of putting ourselves in energies that we don't belong in. But it is a matter of having that compassion, heart-centered energy. There are so many others on the planet that are really going through a real tough time. And the outside world stage is showing the duality, the battles within each and every one of us. So people react and respond to their own pain and their own confusion and their own trauma in their own way. But we can hold compassion. Everybody's operating under some undercurrent of very strong pain body, the collective pain body. So again, for many of us who have been on the healing journey for a while, and we're able to really kind of keep ourselves stable and above it all in a way, where we're in that hawk, that bird's eye view more. We can see through the facade, we can see through the veil, we can see through the illusion. It's not a matter of be like, I can see your truth kind of thing. It's more like just energetically in my heart. I put that out there every night before I go to bed. I'm putting energetically compassion, healing, heart-centered energy out there. And that's what we can do collectively. The more and more of us that do that, just energetically in a prayer, how one deals with the chaos. Yeah, everyone is dealing with this chaos in their own patternized way, basically. Communication is key on the bottom of the deck. And very true, Gemini energy, who's the twins. And I love this depiction, although it could be a little bit more yin-yang, of one has their eyes closed and one has their eyes open, the twins. So this is also reflecting the duality within us all. We all have multiple parts. We all have multiple personalities. Seriously, we are multifaceted, and I'm going like this because, looking on a crystal, every facet is still connected to the one crystal. We are multifaceted, multi-dimensional beings. And so we have to be aware of when certain of our own archetypes and personalities appear and they are driving the show that day. Some days, certain energies will come through. Certain big energies will come through and it'll really pull one of your archetypes to be in the driver's seat. Be aware of when that happens. Don't control it, but I've got this part of me is running the show right today. And it could be one that's linked to fear, your inner child that is fearful of things. Okay. Give that love to that part of yourself. It's okay. We want to communicate to all of our parts. So that we can become more whole within ourselves. And understand that everybody has this. So to even expect anybody else, awake or not awake, to be one way all the time is a fool's game. Nobody is one way all the time. And I think we can all clearly see that. All the multi-dimensional, all the multi-personalities, archetypes that come through other people. It's quite fascinating. And this is a good time of year to really see that clearly, very clearly in others. So that's what I have for us all. Happy Halloween to you all. Bring those fragments together. That has been my mission. That has been my mission, not only for myself, but to help others become aware of that and however I can assist in others doing that for themselves, because I know that it is not easy, and I know that it is definitely something that is helpful and needed in this crazy world that we are living in. But we gotta love it, you know? No more victim, but just deeper self-understanding and awareness of the journey itself. So thank you guys all for joining in and chiming in and participating. This was nice. This felt like a good energy. So I appreciate you joining me. And I'm going to sign off now. I think I'm going to do a few more zodiac readings. I hope that you guys all have a beautiful rest of the evening or day or wherever you are in the world. Here for a lesson. That's right. Earth School. That's right. But it's nice when we get to graduate from one level or grade to the next. And I feel like we really are getting moved into a newer stage, a newer, there's a change a coming, and I welcome it. So sending you all much love. Have a great night, day, wherever it is, wherever you are in the world. Mwah. Bye.